Hello and welcome to today's video. So September is National Chiari Awareness Month. Now before this year I had no idea what Chiari malformation was, but I soon found out as my best friend was diagnosed with it earlier this year. So Chiari malformation is a condition in which the brain tissues extend into the spinal canal. In June of this year, she had surgery to relieve the pressure on her spinal cord. Now, to represent Chiari malformation, they use a purple ribbon, and I did a lot of looking online, and she sent me some pictures. And a lot of people would do a tattoo with a purple ribbon and turn it into a butterfly. So I thought it'd be fun to put my own spin on that and make a butterfly purple ribbon shadow box out of polymer clay. So let's get down to the art desk and get started. To start things out, I'm going to use some silver Primo Sculpey to make some zipper teeth. So I'm going to roll this out, and then I'm going to cut out my individual teeth and put them on the piece of paper to the left there to bake them. So I started off just making a rectangle, smoothing it out. Then I'm going to cut this in half. Not for sure exactly what length I want for these, but I thought I would go with this, and if I need to, I can trim them down. So now that I have all my little zipper teeth cut out into little rectangles, I'm going to go ahead and bake them according to package instructions. Now that I have those done, I have my other supplies. I have purple, black, and silver polymer clays, some letters and numbers, my shadow box, my baked zipper teeth, and I went ahead and cut out a piece of paper in the shape that I needed for the ribbon. I wanted to use this to get an idea what would fit inside the shadow box. So I'm going to go ahead and set aside my teeth. I'm not going to need those for a little bit. And I'll go ahead and get my shadow box taken apart. And I'm going to use this insert in my shadow box as my template for the general size I need. So I want to make sure my ribbon's going to fit in there, and I need to make sure I leave some room along the side, because that's will get pressed into the back of the shadow box, and those will actually get covered up. Probably just maybe about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch at the most. So now I'm going to soften up my purple clay. This is Primo Sculpey. I'm going to roll this out and just like into a snake of clay. And then I'm going to use my little hand plastic roller to roll it out flat. Pretty much try to get it about as even as possible. I do have a pasta machine, but I don't like using it, so I only use it when I absolutely feel like I have to. So I want to just trim this down, and that way it's in my ribbon shape. I'm using my ruler to cut a somewhat straight line. Smooth it out, cut off my ends, and then I'll go ahead and make sure this will work, that this will fit inside my shadow box. And that looks like that's going to work. It's pretty big, but I think I have enough room if I just trim it down a little bit to make it work, and I think I can get all my letters on there. So I'm starting off, and I've already got Kirsten's name loaded up on this little press, and I pressed that in. And now I'm going to go ahead and use each individual number to do the date. Now I've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and mix some purple clay with some silver clay, and these are going to be the butterfly's wings. So I'm going to go ahead and shape out the first section. So does like a butterfly, does it have like 4 wings, or is it just 2 wings and they're kind of divided? I guess I don't know. But this is going to be for the front upper one. And I've got some different reference pictures off camera up above me. And I'm using those to get, my butterfly wing shape. But I also want to make sure it goes well with my ribbon here. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to go ahead and shape out the rest of the wings. So I've got all 4 sections shaped out, but these wings look too small for this ribbon, and I don't want to redo the wings. So and I didn't like the way those letters and numbers were, so I'm going to redo the ribbon. I thought that would be easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out something different to do for the lettering. So I went ahead and redid my ribbon. And now I'm going to go ahead and shape it out and get it to about the size I think looks good with these wings. So get them to fit in there, and then I'm going to trim the wings or the ribbon down and make sure I can, go ahead and add the lettering. I started out and I was going to put the date on the top and Kirsten's name on the bottom part of the ribbon, as far as if you're looking at the butterfly with the wings on top. So I went ahead and used my ball tool to shape in, and I thought this worked really well, and I could do them more to the correct size that I thought would work for this ribbon. But the problem was I didn't give myself enough room because I trimmed off the ribbon first, and I should have made the ribbon just a little bit longer. So we're going to go ahead and smush this up, and this is the benefit of working with clay. As long as it's not baked, you can redo it. So I'm going to redo the ribbon for a third time. Made it a little bit bigger, did the lettering the same way, but this time I put the Kirsten's name on the top and the date on the bottom. This just seemed to fit a little bit better, and I think it looks a little bit better. So now I am taking my zipper teeth and placing them in between the wings, like they're connecting. Like this is the zipper that's getting undone. Again, this is taken off the artwork from that tattoo. Now, I did cut these zipper teeth in half from when I originally made them, just because I thought they would fit better. They were a little bit too big before. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black clay, and I'm just going to roll out a couple little sections. I'm not really for sure what I need yet, but I know I want to put some clay behind the butterfly to push it out away from the back of the shadow box. I don't want it flush against the back of the shadow box, so this will elevate it from there and give the three-dimensional look of the shadow box just a little bit more depth. So with a couple little things rolled out for that, I'm going to use some silver clay to make a couple of antennae for our butterfly. So once I have those shaped out, I'll put those on my paper there, and I'm going to go ahead and bake all of this according to package instructions. Now that everything's cooled down, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some silver paint to our ribbon. I didn't think there was enough contrast with the lettering being dark, and from the indentions to the actual purple, you couldn't really see it very well. So I borrowed this silver paint pen from my wife, and I'm filling in all of the numbers and letters. The only thing is, I didn't do the lettering very deep, so it was very tricky to do this, and it's not very smooth in there. So it's something that, it's a learning process where if I was to do it again, I would smooth that out a little bit, make sure it would take the paint better in case, I needed to do that. And now that I'm fairly satisfied with how the paint is, I'm going to go ahead and glue on all the parts. So I'm going to start, I'm using super glue gel and just adding that to the back wings, and then I'm pressing the ribbon on top of that, and then I'm going to add some more super glue gel and press in the front wings. And I want those angled out just a little bit, not too much. And then I'll go ahead, I'm going to trim down the antenna a little bit, make sure that they are both visible when I attach them. I'm using just a little bit of super glue gel on the end of each antenna, pressing them in place and make sure they are securely attached. Last thing I need to do is glue the butterfly to the back. So I'm just trimming down those pieces of black clay that I had baked and just having them, get them positioned so I can mount the butterfly to the back of the inside of the shadow box. So I'm gluing them on the back of the butterfly. And before I glue it down, I just want to double check, make sure I get my placement exactly how I want. I don't want it overhanging at all. So I have my super glue gel, press that into place, make sure it stays nice and secure. I hold it until the glue is dry. Now I just need to put it back in the shadow box. I didn't know if it would work with the glass or not. Most of the time I don't use glass on my shadow boxes. I did originally at one point, but I don't anymore just because I like the openness. And so I took that glass out and then inserted the butterfly in there without the glass, and it worked out perfect. All right, I'm going to let this guy sit overnight, and we'll take a look at the final piece. All right, here is the finished Chiari ribbon butterfly. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a very special project for me to do, and I was happy that I could do it and get it done, during the month of September. If you want to find out more about Chiari malformation, I did put some links down in the description box below, so be sure to check those out. So I'm really happy how this turned out. I want to do more shadow boxes. I really like them. I like the way this sticks out away from actually goes past the frame. So I think that's a lot of fun, and that's why I don't like using the glass all the time. Alright, well, if you haven't already done so, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, never stop creating. Bye!